Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. This past weekend I was able to participate in the Passport2Pain, which despite its name is a recreational event here on Vashon Island hosted by its local rowing club. It's a ride where you climb up a lot of hills to reach varying checkpoints that are movie themed to fill out your passport, then heading back to the start for a big barbecue. There's varying lengths and courses you can do based on how many different checkpoints you visit. I did what was known as the idiot course by going to all 18, leading to a fun, full passport and a lot of fun. The climb that we're featuring today is known as Burma Road, and it's sort of the queen stage of this ride, mainly due to its crazy steepness, which you're going to see soon. You can reach it from southwest Cedarhurst Road, and it runs for about 2.15 miles with a total elevation gain of about 305 feet. That might not sound super long, but it's crazy steep. And it basically features 3 ramp-up periods with a steady climb at the end with a really fun surprise at the end, which you'll see at the end of this video. The gradients in these ramp-up periods are going to reach well into the 20%, and you're not really going to see anything lower than 10%. So I wanted to give you guys some tips on how you might come to approach this for your first time and want to try this challenge for yourself. Definitely the biggest thing is gearing. So even before you come to this ride, you want to watch out for what kind of gears you have. The key thing to all these climbs is just being able to stay upright on your bike due to the high gradient levels. So for me, I'm running a compact setup, but you might not need that exactly, but you probably want to get something close to it if you're in your road bike just to make sure that you're sufficiently prepared. So as we finish that sort of first ramp up period, it definitely acts as a warm up for the second one. And the next tip is to definitely change your gears early. For this one in particular, the gradient changes super quick on you, and I've seen too many people throw their chain and leading them to a really bad spot going up such a steep hill. So doing that will definitely help you out, and definitely, as you can see here, the gradient will start to pitch up really, really fast. We're going into the 20% now, 25%, now 29% coming, and I've never done anything this steep. I'm riding on the saddle, doing the best I can to stay on the bike. And that leads to my next tip, which is it's all about traction. So the first thing is compared to probably what you normally ride, you are going to have to lean a little bit more forward. That front wheel is going to want to come up and make you do a wheelie. Don't let it, but don't do anything too dramatic either, as it's all about that balance. But and the next thing to watch out for is the conditions of the road. So if it's a particularly wet day, these leaves you see on the left and right, they can act as little patches of ice. And in general, wet roads offer a lot less traction. So really be careful for that. In terms of the road condition itself, it's got some potholes, but not anything too bad to look out for, as well as there isn't loose gravel on the ground. So I think that in that way you're a little safe. And then yeah, with that, I reached the end of the first hill. You saw some people there also just taking a break, and that's something you definitely should do as you try to approach this if totally gassed out. The third ramp up period, this next one we're going to do is really similar. They're both about 120 elevation gain, 120 feet of elevation. This one is slightly less steep, reaching only gradients of 22 to 25%. But it is a lot of the same, especially if you do these back to back. This hill is going to feel steeper than the last one. At least it did for me. Another tip would basically it really ties in with the gearing tip, but you want to have your power output be as smooth as possible. Your cadence is most likely going to be reduced to a minimum, but you want to make sure you're keeping that traction on the rear tire by having a sort of consistent output and not super choppiness where things might get locked up a bit. And with that, we're going in here and you can see what this rider is doing. You can ride sort of in, and this applies to any steep hill. You can ride in zigzags, which will basically reduce the gradient for you as well. If it's just way too steep or you don't have the legs or gears to do it at that time, it'll definitely help out. I'd say definitely if you do a technique like that, watch out for traffic. Luckily for this road, it's super steep, so I don't think there's gonna be much cars. I don't think my car won't bottom out on this ride. But that's something you can. But look out for cyclists behind you when you do something like that. But with those things, I hope that you guys will come on to take this challenge and then see how it feels. And lastly, I guess there's no shame in walking these gradients and trying again next time. I would say better than tipping over, at least from my point of view. But with that, you finish the third ramp up, and that basically is the hardest part of this climb. And now there's just a steady climb of about 8% gradient, leading you to the fun surprise, which is actually a devil mascot who will, in previous years, chase you up the rest of the hill to the finish. This year, they are a lot more safe, so they were doing it from afar, sort of punishing me, and I'll leave that at the end, just with the GoPro audio, and you can see what that experience was like. But it was really fun and something to definitely check out. So with that, as we approach this steady climb that I was talking about, it's really just going to be in that 8% range coming up. And I just had a few sort of fun questions for you guys. One is if any of you guys recognize where this jersey is from. And then number two is would you try a climb like this, or have you done something similar to it before? This was definitely my first time, and the whole Passport2Pain experience was super duper fun. So I'll definitely encourage you guys all to try. Give all my tips a try if you're approaching any steep climb, not just this one, but I think this is definitely a case where you'll definitely need it. And with that, thanks for watching this video, and I'm going to put the audio to the original, and then you can see the fun ending. All right, see you guys next time.
Just to make your suffering even worse. How does the devil measure his drugs?
How?
In pentagrams.
Nice.
You just did Burma Road. Give the fork a high five.
Oh.
Virtual high five. You don't know.
Virtual high five.
There you go. High five. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, wait.
There we go.
Come up this.